I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All 6 of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt. Welcome back to another video. Before I go on, if you're wondering what this is, instead of having a bright light, I put a piece of towel on the window so it wasn't just look like a halo, but now it looks like a crown. But I mean, it is, at least it's not brightly shining in your guys' faces. But yeah, that is a towel on the window. At least block some of the light out. I'm like 30 seconds in. This is a paid request from Richard. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. I will try to get to it as soon as I can. And in Patreon or PayPal, both links are down below in the info box. I appreciate it. If not, no worries. Now, I know I've reviewed this film before, but Richard just wanted me to talk about it. And that is Universal Soldier: The Return, and this is an 88 films Blu-ray that you need a region-free Blu-ray player, because if you play on a regular, it won't work, like a lot of 88 films releases. The features are not much, just 2 commentaries from really one group. They don't even like the film at all. Another group, they kind of like the film. I didn't mind them. And no new interviews or anything of that sort. But yeah, I love the film. Glad to have it on Blu-ray. And that's why I got it. But Universal Soldier: The Return, I believe Rich is a fan of this film as well. And he wanted me to do a video sort of go on about why is this film so hated? Why is this film so thrown away? Why is it disregarded? Why is it considered one of Van Damme's worst? Why does it get... It's like a 3 or 4.7 on IMDb, very low rating that I don't think it deserves at all. This is a time when, in Van Damme's career, it was not the heyday anymore. Sadly, because of drug usage, helping to partake in bad choices, especially with the studios, asking for too much money, wanting 20 million like Jim Carrey and them were getting, but Jim Carrey his movies were making over $100 million in the U.S., like The Mask. Van Damme's films were not. I mean, the highest was Time Cop, and that still didn't make $100 million in the U.S. It was a hit, just like this movie was a hit. In fact, that may be more appropriate for this review. That was a hit, but this made 30-some million in the U.S. It was a bonanza hit. It was a hit because of the low budget. So I can see why the studio would not be paying Van Damme $20 million. And even he admits that was a stupid thing. He did a reality show called Behind Closed Doors. He even admitted that was a stupid decision on his part. And then films he did were not working. The Quest bombed. Sudden Death, which I liked. I just didn't like the very, very obvious Van Damme doubles, which ruined almost every fight scene. You see very obvious Van Damme doubles in the fights. That hurt that film a lot, in my opinion. But I still like Sudden Death, but that didn't do well. Like I said, The Quest bombed, which I'm not really a big fan of The Quest. Then he was doing films like Double Team, Knockoff, Maximum Risk, which are films I enjoy. Of the three, I would say I like Maximum Risk the most, then Double Team. Knockoff I can watch, but Knockoff was kind of Van Damme. It's like he wanted to be Jackie Chan. That's what it seemed like in that movie. And I think that was the film Van Damme does not remember making. I believe that's the quote. Like, Van Damme was so coked out, he does not remember making Knockoff. I don't know if it was Double Team. I think it was Knockoff. So, his films were not doing well, even though, again, I liked most of those films. You could see his drug usage taking a toll on his body. At the end, even Maximum Risk, which I enjoy, you see a little bit of his drug thing. Whether it be the eyes, the body. Like I said, I still enjoy those movies, and he got cleaned up. He wanted to come back, and this was one of his peak physical I was going to say stamina, but he looked really good. He moved smoothly. He could do the fight scenes. It's really him doing it. He did great jump kicks and punches. He was there emotionally. This is the last hurrah with Van Damme, in my opinion. And I like a lot of his direct-to-video work. Wake of Death I enjoy. Until Death I enjoy. Six Bullets I enjoy. Replicant I enjoy. And hell, JCVD. I enjoy those movies. I don't enjoy every direct-to-video film he's done, but I enjoy a lot of them. But I do consider this the last hurrah and heyday of Van Damme because it was a theatrical film where he was the lead. And it's the end of an era for Van Damme because this is one of the last times you will see Van Damme be Van Damme. Where he's punching, he's like, yeah! You know, and he has emotion on his face. He's worried. He's smiling. He's jovial. Early on, he saves a girl. He's looking at her tits. Hey, oh, excuse me. Like, he's not dead-faced. And that's a lot of his direct-to-video work. I don't know if that's because of what he takes for his bipolar, if that's what he's told to act, if he's like, I have to act this way because if I act the other way, people will make fun of me. I don't know what the deal is. I miss this Van Damme. Again, just from his performance, he's having fun. I think in Van Damme's mind, he's hoping this is going to be the reignition of his career, and it wasn't. It was the final straw that broke the whole fucking spine, the whole goddamn back. Because this bombed badly. It was critically deriled. It was called one of Van Damme's worst. And then after that, he went straight to video. And again, I like The Order in some of those films. Like The Order, you saw a bit of that Van Damme, to be honest. The Order, you saw him smiling. That's one of the reasons why I really like The Order. But again, the star of a theatrical film was acting like a human being. Not to say he doesn't act like a human being, but you know what I mean? Like, more emotional, more the range of emotions. And that's not even fair to say, because he does that Wake of Death, but more of that angry and sad and morose, and he does go through the range of emotions there and does a really good job, but to see him fucking smile, and to see him having fun, and just joy. You watch the past 10 years of Van Damme material, there's not a lot of joy. I saw a little bit in Jean-Claude Van Damme in the Amazon show. So, again, to be the star of a bigger budget film, you could say this is the end of an era for Van Damme. And at least, unlike Steven Seagal, his direct-to-video work was pretty decent compared to Seagal's. But just nice to see Van Damme having fun. And I've always enjoyed this movie. It's 80 minutes. And you know what this is? It's Van Damme's PM Entertainment film. If you don't know what I'm talking about, PM Entertainment was an action... It was a label. Their films went direct to video, whether it be films like that had Jeff Wincott or Derry Daniels, or even Jess Beatman did a couple. I think Land of the Free was one of them. You had Last Man Standing, Wincott. You had T-Force. You like these low-budget films that have B-movie plots, and the budgets for the set isn't really the greatest, but it's all out in action. And if Van Damme ever did a PM Entertainment film, it would be this. But to be perfectly honest, to answer Rich is like, why do people hate this? People didn't want that. The first Universal Soldier is a classic. This film, as some people call it, is more a video game than an actual film. And to be honest, they're not really wrong. If you're expecting a film with a bit of emotion, a bit more to a story, you're not getting that. And, the supporting actors, like the tech geek guy, the hacker, not really the best actor. The sets of the research facilities, not really the biggest budget looking set. They are sets that I would see in a PM Entertainment film. What happened was you got a guy, the director is Mic Rodgers, who worked with stunts. He worked behind the scenes on stunts. He knew how to do stunt work. He knew how to do action scenes. And that was his bread and butter. And that was the main focus. And that's the main drive of the film. And I love Universal Soldier. It has some great action. But that does have a story to it as well. It does have a bit of motion to it as well. With Van Damme wanting to find his humanity mixed in with the action and the fun. This one, it's a very B-movie plot of this military research, and you have this AI intelligence, Seth, voiced by Michael J. White. He gets a new body, hence you see the actual Michael J. White. And that's the thing, if you're seeing the sets of the facility, and like Seth, when you first see him, it's like this globe on the wall, and like looks like something you would see on your Windows computer, a bunch of swirling colors. And the lady who plays the female reporter, she's there, but she's not the best actress. And that's the thing, if you're going into this for plot and story and emotional connection, you're not going to find a lot of that. But if you want a Friday night where you get your popcorn, you get your soda, and you want to see 80 minutes of ass-kicking action with rocking music, it does that and then some. And it's immensely fun. I mean, it begins with a big action scene with they're on a training exercise, and Van Damme was with this lady while they're chased by the Unisouls in the marshes and swamps, and they're on a boat, and they jump into another boat, and Van Damme's kicking people off a boat. He's fighting Goldberg, shoots him, throws a knife at him. And this movie is short. If you take out the end credits, it's like an hour and 19 minutes. It's take a movie, pretty much cut all the fat out of it. It's Van Damme having fun, staring at the tits too long, smiling, jovial. Pretty soon after, they're back at the facility. There's one going crazy. Van Damme's fighting it and has to do the double hit on the head. And he's doing the classic Van Damme, like, yeah! And the punches and the 360 kicks. And Van Damme and Pete prime physical prowess, and Michael J. White, I think they have one of Van Damme's best fights in a movie at the end. I really do believe that. If you watch a fight between Van Damme and Michael J. White, it's well done on a choreography scale, and they get their moments. It's a nice length. It doesn't feel too short. They just get their moments. The Luc Deveraux character just grabs and does a backflip, and they're throwing chairs at each other, and he's choking Van Damme. Van Damme has a laser in Seth's eye, but when you disregard the action, the rest of it does feel direct-to-video in terms of the supporting actors, like the female reporter, the tech hacker guy who's going very over the top in a bad way. It's a very B-movie plot, and AI intelligence controlling Unisouls, wants this code, the sets, the music. I would say the music isn't that good, honestly, compared to the original film. Like the score makes it seem a cheaper movie. Don Davis. I'm sorry, I would say that's one of the weakest parts of the film is the score. And that's what I mean. Like the score sounds like the score I would hear at PM. That's what I mean. This is a PM Entertainment film. Only Sony released it. If they didn't release it, PM Entertainment would have released it. And look at PM Entertainment. They went all out on the action and nothing else. And that's why people had a problem with this film. To answer Rich's question, because the first, foremost, and ultra focus was action, 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 and to me, that's welcome compared to shit today. You gave me my money's worth. You know, Van Damme kicking ass. He goes to rescue his dog at the hospital. There's these two Unisols. He does a beautiful jump kick, hitting a guy into the, because it's the laundromat part of the hospital. Kicks a guy into the dryer. Smashes a guy's face over here. You got Bill Goldberg from WCW, the wrestler, as a villain. You have a goofy sense of humor where he keeps getting killed, but he won't stay down. I hate that guy. He does a bit of his wrestling moves on a bigger hospital orderly. He gives a spear, and it's not a movie to take seriously. I think Van Damme's having fun. You did see the emotion during the fight scenes. There's a point where him and the reporter go to a strip club. Titties. In a theatrical film, oh shit. Something you don't see nowadays. I'm leaving, okay? No violence. And he's having to fight these three bouncers. He gets hit, kicking their ass. Like, pretty much you only have to wait a couple minutes before there's another action scene. Whether it be Van Damme getting the soldiers, including James Black, who's an actor I've seen. He was on this TV show called The Burning Zone. He was in these direct-to-video films with this director J.R. Bookwalter, like Ozone. James Black, he was in Soldier with Kurt Russell. And leads into firefights. Van Damme needing this big fucking gun with the grenade launcher. Which is funny, he never uses a pistol like on the back there, but there might be a picture. Does this come with a cool little booklet? And nice write-up by Dom O'Brien. Let's see if there's a picture of it. Oh, there's a moment where these guys come out and they just blow the shit out of everybody. Explosions. They even kill this other reporter out of the blue. Here's what this guy says. I thought you put it fairly well. Just produce a pure adrenaline-filled action film for audiences to enjoy. It's one of the last bombastic, old-school practical action films before it fell out of favor with Hollywood, thanks to the new wave of CGI. Because that's right. Around the same time, The Matrix came out in 1999. So people watching The Matrix and getting their minds blown, and then they watch this film, they go, oh, this is just... okay, something I would see in 1992. While again, films like The Matrix blew people's minds, because same year, 1999. They also had Star Wars, The Phantom Menace. Like, these high, at the time, states of CGI effects driven popcorn entertainment. There's a wealth of entertainment to enjoy. It's a bevy of practical explosions, martial arts mayhem, 90s one-liners, and a tightly edited running time that will be perfect for a fun Friday night evening. I agree. I absolutely agree with Dom O'Brien. Absolutely agree with that. Fast-paced, embracing the ludicrous nature of the proceedings. What other film can you recall where the hero and love interest have to infiltrate a local strip club to hack the internet as a major plot point only to be caught by the bouncers, instigating a bar fight with everyone from patrons to topless dancers being part of the brawl? You had Megadeth song Crush 'Em. That's what I mean. That this movie is just very entertainment personified. And I think if, again, there are people who want a little bit more meat to the bones, and again, they don't like the B movie plot, they don't like the supporting actors, or they feel there is some cheapness when it's not the action. Like I said, the music feels a bit cheap. When Van Damme kills Michael Jai White, you have a pretty bad CGI effect, which I think they try to mask, because when Michael Jai White's theater gets frozen and Van Damme kicks it, you see a big white light. Pew. I think they put that in maybe to hide the very clunky CGI, but it still didn't help. Like, that looks very cheap. As a guy who loves this film, that looks very cheap. Like I said, the score, even the sets of the research station, they look very cheap. It's like, we don't have enough money, but they put it all into what mattered. I'm like, okay, I can accept that. If this is going to be cheaped out, you gave me really good, fun action scenes. You gave me a breezy pace, kick-ass soundtrack with Megadeth, crush 'em, crush 'em. Villains and Goldberg and Michael Jai White, pretty worthy villains. I do wish Van Damme got a big fight with Goldberg and really actually took care of him. Instead, him and the guys kind of get blown up at the end. And when the movie's over, it's over. Like, it hits with this shot. This is the last shot of the movie. When it gets to this moment, boom, credits. Hour and 19 minutes, give or take. And that's one of the reasons I've always enjoyed this film. I'm like, this movie, Van Damme in his prime, kicking ass, showing good form. It's actually him, which I give more credit to that than sudden death. And the fact that sudden death, each fight scene, it's not him. There's some close-ups of him, but then on most of the wide shots, it's another guy, and it's easy to tell. And as much as I like the mascot penguin fight, when close-ups of him, but the wide shots is a different guy. That bothers me, and I could tell. That's not the case in this. And Michael Jai White, I think, is one of his better fights. Now, it's not up to, like, the Undisputed films that he was in. Well, Undisputed 2 is really the only film he was in. It's not up to that fight and technique. I'm not saying that, but compared to all the other stuff, like Welcome to Sudden Death, which I saw the trailer, don't want to see that movie. This is one of his best fights, Michael Jai White, with Van Damme. I think it's a lot of fun. That's what I'm getting. It's a lot of fun. Van Damme smiling, being emotional. He had a ball, and I really do think he felt and hoped this would be his jump back into the limelight of success, and it wasn't, sadly. It was the opposite. I think he was really trying his all in this. And you could tell with his technique, and it's a very straightforward film. It's a very B-movie plot, and it does not have the style or the technical prowess with the rest of the film compared to the first film. Like the first film, the sets don't look cheap, and the score is really good, and there's a bit of emotion with Van Damme regaining his humanity and the personal conflict he has with Dolph Lundgren. I never thought this was going to be up to par with the first Universal Soldier, but I think this is better than the shit that came out afterward. I'm sorry. I would rather watch Van Damme marveling strip club girls with their titties out, kicking ass, having fun, 80 minutes, 70-some minutes of action and explosions and, what, you tried to get me fried? Sense of humor to it, than dark, depressing, crying, fall asleep, watching monkeys on TV, like the regeneration, being a fucking zombie, and then Day of Reckoning, he's a villain or he's not a villain, whatever the fuck he is. A good chunk of the film, he's portrayed as a villain, and then he gets killed off. So whether he's a villain or not, they still kill him off in a bullshit way, looking like Colonel fucking Kurtz from Apocalypse Now. Sorry, not my ideal thoughts. And also, if you're epileptic, you're gonna die watching Day of Reckoning, because there's 5 scenes that really give you epileptic fucking seizures. Sorry, I don't think of that with a Universal fucking Soldier. If you do, cool. There's some good action in that movie too. I'll agree. There's some good action. But that's a plot to me is shit. And a theme that's shit. I'd rather see a fun B-movie plot than try to be dark, depressing. You like these characters? Fuck them. Fuck Luc Deveraux. He's Colonel Kurtz, then he's dead. Not my cup of tea. I rather prefer this. To me, this is a sequel I would rather enjoy and watch and be happy with. It doesn't do a disservice to Luc Deveraux. Now again, issues, like I said, have a better score. Beef up the sets. Like when Seth, before he's human, not looking like you had your computer on too long, and Windows is now have your screensaver. Screensaver, not screenslaver. I don't know what the fuck a screenslaver is. And maybe have an extra 5-10 minutes of a bit more of the emotion of Van Damme, further suggesting why he decided to go with the Universal program. He had an idea that he's tired of people sending Americans to die in the battlefield, which he can relate to, because he did die in the battlefield. He doesn't want that to happen to anybody else. But at least take 5 more minutes. You have the time. You're an hour and 19 minutes without the end credits. Take 5 more minutes. Delve into that. At least 5 more minutes. I think that should help a bit. But other than that, it's easy to watch. It's easy to munch your popcorn and enjoy and be a kick-ass movie. But it is more like a video game. You survive the first round. Now you get to your main boss, your sub-boss. And he had the Rock'em soundtrack, and I keep saying Megadeth. I forgot who the other. I remember liking the soundtrack quite a bit. I forgot the band names. But like I said, people, they don't like the idea. They feel, okay, it's a lot of action, but what else is there? I can't fault him for it, but that's kind of what I wanted out of this movie, and it delivered, and then some. So, I think that's why a lot of people don't like the film, or they feel it's goofy. They feel it's goofy. They thought that maybe the B-movie plot is goofy, Goldberg was goofy. I guess some of the cheapness of the other aspects, other than the action. And it does show that you had a director who knew action, and maybe not much else of other stuff. But what he knew fairly well. Again, I think it's an underrated film. I think it's a fun movie. I don't think it deserves the hate it gets. It's not up to par with Universal Soldiers, not up to par with Hard Target or other movies, but it's a lot of fun. And that's what I wanted, is to have fun. And it is fun. And Van Damme got to show his great physical attributes. And if you want a movie that showcases what he can do physically, this is a good showcase of it. He gets to do a lot of it, which is what I wanted. And if that means sucking the fat out of it and being a cheaper, faster-paced movie, I'm fine with it. Kind of like Showdown Low Tokyo. That's a movie that I know was longer, a lot of it was cut down, but you know what? I like the final product. I'd be curious to see what was deleted scenes, but I got an 80-minute rock'em sock'em action movie, and that's the thing. They look more, this is more like a video game. Yeah, but it's a good video game, or it's a fun video game. But yeah, I can understand they looked at that more of it than an actual movie. Believe me, I can understand that. I really can, but I don't think that makes it bad. You know, Commando to me is a cartoon, but it's a fun cartoon. I love Commando. It's one of my favorite Arnold films. I do think it's a live action cartoon. That's not a bad thing though. It's fucking fun. That's the thing, like Commando is fun. Let's say if Arnold is fine with Commando and that's a fun movie, this is kind of that way where this is. And yes, I do think Commando is better than this. But I mean, if we're fine with accepting Arnold and Commando, I don't know why we're not fine with accepting Van Damme in this movie. Someone's going to have to explain that to me. You know, good villain in Michael Jai White, even with Goldberg for what he has to be. And if you want your action, it's got it and then some. Shootouts, fights, explosions, stunt work. Very fun fight at the end. To me, a last good hurrah for Van Damme before he delved into the direct-to-video realm. And last but not least, I'll repeat it again. To see Van Damme having fun. Van Damme with a fucking smile on his face. I miss that. I miss that. Or when he fights. Even if it's not like in this movie he's smiling a lot too, but in fights, he has that emotion. Like, come on! He doesn't do that in fights nowadays. He just... And some of them are decent. Again, a lot of his direct-to-video work I like. Wake of Death is one of his best direct-to-video films. But you still miss that Van Damme of old. And again, whether he was told to act differently or what else, I don't know. But, yeah. It was fun watching this again. Still entertaining, fast-paced, and fun. So, with that, I keep mentioning that. Fun, fun, fun. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.